Guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I was just thinking, like, yeah, in every single video I just do the intro the same way, so I'm just doing it the same way I usually do, so that's just in my mind. So I was just thinking about, like, I bought this car. I never told you what I did and what I checked while buying this car, and I never told you anything about that. So I was just thinking I should tell you guys, I should interact with you guys to tell about when you are buying a second-hand car or a used car, what you need to see and what you need to check while checking all of that stuff. So I'm just gonna tell you about all of that, and I'm pretty sure you'll just get something from that, and that would be really nice for you. I hope that will just help you a lot while buying a used car, and I just hope that would be great. So I'm just gonna show you what to do and what to check while you are buying a used car, because that helps you a lot. And I just saw some videos when I was buying a new car. When I bought this car, I just saw a lot of videos and I checked a lot of stuff before buying this car. So I'm just gonna tell you what to do when you are doing all of this stuff. So let's just get right into it. The first thing you need to check while buying a used car is the paint. Like, you just need to check all of the paint, if it is proper or not, and if it is like even in all the body panels. Like, many times there are different body colors, like, yeah, that's white, but you can see there are two different shades of white. So you need to check that before buying a car. You need to check that before buying a car, because sometimes, like, if in an accident, if the car is been in an accident, then you won't know, like, the seller won't tell you about that. So you need to check all of the paint and all of the panels if they matches. So that's the first thing you need to see. The second thing is the gapping. The gapping between all of the panels, it needs to be the same in all of the panels. And for this car specifically, all the paneling was really nice and everything was great. So that's why I opt for this, and it looked really nice. So that's why all of the panels and all of the things were perfect. So it was just like good, and that's why I got this car. The third thing you need to see is the scratches, minor scratches and dents on the car. Like, you don't want to have a lot of dents on your car, so you just need to check where it have been dented and where the Bondo is used. So you can just check it while just knocking or doing. You will able to see if there is a Bondo on the car or not. You just need to check the whole body of the car. That will help you to save a lot of money, because you don't want to spend a lot of money after buying a car, because you just spent a lot of money on buying your car, and now you don't want to spend a lot of money on fixing your car. So yeah, that's the thing you need to check. Then you need to check all of your headlights and tail lights, if they work properly or not, because if they don't work, you can just cut some slack off on your price, and you just can offer a low price, because you have to pay for all of that stuff. So these are the things you need to check exterior wise. Like, yeah, after that you need to check the wheels, if they are curbed, rashed, and all of that stuff have happened or not. You just need to check all of that stuff. And you need to check the inner fender liner, if it is proper or not. Like, yeah, most of the time the fender liner is just messed up and it's bent or it's broken, so you just need to check all of that stuff. Next, you need to check the windshield wipers, if they work properly or not, and you need to check the quality of the windshield wipers and all of that stuff, and the trim color. Like, yeah, my car is dirty at this point because I just need to wash my car. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But you need to check your windshield wipers. Then you need to check your power windows, like, yeah, if they work properly or not. That is also a really main thing. Like, if it is not working, it's gonna cost you a lot to change the whole thing. It's not cheap to change the whole thing. You need to check all of the lighting on your car, if it is working properly. Your headlights, your blinkers, and your tail lights. As I told you about tail lights and headlights, you need to check every single lighting. You need to check the grille, if it is broken or not. Like, yeah, my paint is chipping from there. Like, yeah, my paint is chipping from here and somewhat from here, but it's okay. Like, that works. That is not that much, so it will work with me. And I asked him about that, what happened. So he went into I think he went into a ramp or something like that, and he knocked the paint out of that part. So after that, you need to check lower side of your car, like, if it is rusted or not. You need to check all of that stuff properly. You need to check that if your car is rusted from the bottom or not, because you don't want a lot of rust on your car. It's not a good chassis. Then your chassis is just like done, and you need to do a lot of work to just remove all of that rust, and that is a pain. Like, you just don't want to deal with all of that stuff. So just check for rust. Rust is a really, really big problem. If you have rust on your car, or if you're buying a car and that car have rust a lot, that car have a lot of rust on it, so just leave it. You don't need to buy that car. Just find some new car. After checking the exterior, you need to come into the interior, and you need to check every single thing, every single button, if every single button works on this thing, and the door card works properly, and the speaker works properly, and all of the lights and gauges and all of the fuel gauge and all of that things work properly. You just need to check all of that. Plus the radio system, you need to check that too, and you need to see if your car works properly. Like manually, you just need to put in gears and you need to see if the gears are grinding or not, because you don't want your car to be grinding a lot. Like if your gears are grinding, then that's not good, so you don't want that to happen. You need to check your handbrake if it works properly or not. Like that is also not cheap to just replace and all of that, so you just need to check if your handbrake is working properly. And interior wise, you need to check all of the seats, the condition of the seats. As you can see in my car, the condition of seat is just perfect. It is really nice and it looks new, so that's a plus point for this car. And you need to check the roof, so it needs to be perfect. Like it does not need to be dirty. Like if it is dirty, then you can replace it, that's not a big problem. Like, but it's gonna cost you to replace it too, and you don't want it to sag. Like you don't want it to sag a lot, like if it is just under the roof. I'm saying like if there is a lot of water, it's just gonna start sagging, and you don't want that to happen. So you just need to check your roof too before buying. Like after checking the exterior and interior of the car, you just need to come into the engine bay and you need to remove this first. Like, so the first thing you need to remove is this, and check on the bottom of it. If it has white goo on it, like on the bottom of it, then your engine has some problem, like head gasket problem or something like that. So you don't want that car. You can just cut some slack off of the price. And you need to check the dipstick, if the car is serviced properly and it have proper oil or not. You need to check the power steering fluid, and you need to check the water. You need to check the brake oil, all of that stuff. Plus you need to check the coolant and the battery, like if the battery is working properly. If your car is starting right away when you are just turning the key, then your battery is fine and it's working phenomenally. But if it is taking a long time to start, then your battery needs to be replaced. So that's also a big problem. Like when you are buying a battery, it's not cheap to buy a new battery. You want to check that first when you are buying the car. And generally you need to check everything in your engine bay, like if it is working properly and all of the fluids are topped off, and then it will look nice. Then after that, you need to check these pillars, like these pillars on the sides and the frame rails. Like there are frame rails on that side. You need to get this removed, then you will be able to see the frame rail and gist of a frame rail. You need to remove the bumper and all of that stuff to see it properly. But if you are able to check it, then that's nice, because you don't want these things to be bent and all of that stuff. If these things are bent, then your car have definitely been in an accident. So then that's a no for the car. Like you don't need to buy that car if the chassis, if these frame rails, these firewalls and all of that stuff is bent or something like that. If the chassis is bent, then you don't need to buy that car. Like just say no to it and find a new car, because that's not for your purpose. Like you have to do a lot of work and the chassis is not good. After that, you need to check the fenders and the A-pillars. Like you need to check the A-pillars if they are proper or not. Like when you are gonna open the door, you can just check if it is like smooth or not. Like if a car have been in an accident, then this is gonna be bent and this is not gonna look OEM. So you need to check the A-pillars on the cars. Like you have to open all 4 doors and you need to check the A-pillar if it is straight or not, because you don't want anything to be bent here and it needs to be proper. After that, you need to check all of these pillars. Like you need to check everything on the body. You don't want anything to be bent. Like if something is bent, just don't buy that car. And if there is a minor problem, like you can fix it, then you can buy that car, but you have to fix it. Like after checking all of this stuff, and when you have checked the whole thing on your car, and after checking everything, and like everything is all right with your car, and you don't have any problem with the body or with the engine of the car, now you need to come to the papers. You need to find the insurance paper and the RC and all of that stuff on the car, and you need to recheck all of the codes. Like you need to check the chassis number, you need to recheck the chassis number and all of that stuff of the car, because you need to compare it with your insurance and with your RC. You don't want to get scammed, you don't want to buy a theft car. That's just going to be really bad for you. So just before buying your car, just check all of the numbers on your car. all of the chassis number, all of the engine number and all of that. Just compare everything. In this car, frame number is here and chassis number and all of that stuff is on in that side of the car. So you just need to compare everything. Every single car have a different place to have chassis number and all of that stuff. So you just need to check it where it is and you need to compare it with your RC. Because the last thing you want is your car to be theft and then your car is going to be confiscated by the police and then you are just going to be in a really bad position. So you don't want that to happen. When you have checked every single thing on your car, your engine is proper, all the numbers are proper, the exterior is proper. After that, you need to start driving the car and you need to drive it at least for 10 to 15 minutes, means a lot. Like you need to drive it on a straight road and just drive it properly. Turn the audio off, pull all the windows up and just drive the car and listen for any noise if that car is making, like when you are turning or when you are driving the car. If there is any noise, just ask the owner about that. Like you just need to ask every single thing about that car because you don't want any suspicious things happening with your car. When you have bought the car, then you cannot do anything. If the car is broken from inside and if there is any problem, you just cannot do anything with that. So you need to be transparent with the owner, and if the owner is saying and if he's talking to you when you are test driving the car, just tell him to stop talking and just drive the car properly and listen for every single thing while you are driving a car. If the owner is forcing you for anything on that car, just say no to it. Like yeah, you don't want to be forced to buy a car. Just be really nice. Like if the owner is nice, then that's okay. But if the owner is trying to force you to buy that car, just say no to it. You don't need to buy that car. Just come back to your house and find a new car for you. Like you can check a lot of cars. There are a lot of cars on the market. You can buy any of those cars. And then you need to do the same process when you are checking the other car. But you need to check every single thing properly. You don't want to get scammed while you are buying a second-hand car. That would be the worst thing. While you are driving the car, just check the brakes and the acceleration of the car if everything is working properly and smoothly. Because sometimes the brakes are not good, then you can just ask the owner why the brakes are not good. You haven't serviced the car, so you just can cut some slack off on your price. So you just need to check every single thing. If the acceleration is not proper, if the car is not smooth, and if the gears are grinding, you just ask the owner about that. And if you are okay with it and you have to fix it, then you can just cut some slack off. Like he have to cut some slack off and you can lower ball him. Like you can ask him to cut a lot of money off of that because you have to pay for that stuff. You just have to change that part in your car. So for that, you can ask the owner. If he accepts that, then you can buy that car. Or if he's saying that no, he won't be cutting some slack off, then just say no to that car because you don't want to force this thing. When you are buying a car, it's a really big deal. It's not a small thing. You are not spending a tiny bit of money. You are spending a lot of money. So you just need to be sure about what you are buying and what you are doing to your car and how much you are going to spend on your car. So that's the thing you need to know first while buying a car. Because most of the people are just like, they are so excited to buy a car and they'll buy a bad car. And after that, they'll regret every option. Like they'll regret their opinion on the car and they'll just regret why did they buy that car and they'll say all of that stuff. So you don't want that to happen with you. So just be calm and just check every single thing, and you don't need to be excited in front of the owner. Never be excited in front of the owner. He'll be really hard to negotiate, so you don't want that to happen. So just check every single thing and don't be that much excited while you are buying a car. Be calm and check many cars, and after that make your decision while discussing it with everyone. I hope you enjoyed watching my video, and I'm really happy like I was able to tell you all of that stuff when you are buying your car and I'm able to help you. And if you like my video, just smash the like button and subscribe to my channel because that helps me a lot. I am growing my channel. I have started my YouTube channel and I really like it. I really like doing this stuff. So I want you guys to support me and that will be really nice for me. So thank you guys for watching my video. Peace out.